Alright, y'all. We back on. Y'all don't mind that. Don't. That gap has bothered me for a while. But I'm gonna fix it. So what we doing today is I'm gonna do a video on showing you guys how to change oil. I'm sure it's 1,000,006 oil changing videos. That tire look low to me. But I'm gonna show you how to do it on this vehicle, and try to explain it the best I can, the easy way, and why if you're not changing your own oil, maybe you should start. Step one though, if you're changing oil in your driveway outside, get rid of all these leaves and acorns. So I'll be back when I get rid of that. Alright, we're back. Leaf issue solved. So what y'all see right here is I got my ramps. So I'm kind of catering this video to people who don't know how to change oil, because if you know how to change oil, why would you be watching my video? But anyway, ooh, that's a nice Oldsmobile going up the street. I think it's a Parisian. Is that who made Parisians? Oldsmobile? I think so. Ooh, anyway, I use ramps. You can most definitely use jacks and jack stands. If you are going to use jacks and jack stands, make sure that you're safe. It's not recommended to just be up on the vehicle up with just the jack. The jack could fail and the vehicle could fall on you. So that is not particularly safe. Have I worked under a car with just a jack? Of course I have. I think most mechanics have, but that is a risk you take with your own life. So that is why I'm warning against it. If you want to take that risk and you're grown, go ahead. If you're a child, you need to consult an adult. But I use ramps for this just because it's simpler in my opinion. It's safer in my opinion. And it's just a little less time. So let me show you how to put your ramps in place. So these ramps, you're going to drive the vehicle up onto them. Naturally, if the vehicle is not running, you cannot use these unless you jack the vehicle up and then place these under the tires. So what you want to do is you basically want to line this up with the tire. You want to try to get the tire as close to the middle of the ramp as you can. So let me show y'all. You see, it's kind of hard to see. It's dark out here, y'all. It's kind of, and my car is really low to the ground. You can see how close that is. But what you want to do is put this in the middle. Get this ramp as straight as you can, because you're going to drive straight forward. And you want to make sure that you don't have it all off to one side or what have you. For instance, don't have it like that, because you're just driving on the very edge. You may drive off the ramp, or the car may slip off the ramp. So these ramps are generally going to be wider than your tires. Most tires are not this wide. Now you got some truck tires that's that wide, but for the most part, they're not going to be wide enough. Now, I'm going to set y'all in a tripod so y'all can watch me drive onto said ramps. But I want to tell you this first. When you're driving onto the ramps, a lot of people don't know how to drive on the ramps. I've had people where I show them how to change oil, how to use these ramps, and a lot of times I notice that they don't know how to drive onto the ramps. If you just smash down on the accelerator, you will drive over the ramps, meaning the car will go and you will drive over the ramps. The ramps will be stuck under your car, or it may damage part of your car, or it may damage the ramps, what have you. That's why you saw those grooves in the ramp on the other side. Let me show y'all. See this right here? Somebody drove over my ramps and busted them. So that's why I'm giving y'all this little piece of information. When you drive onto these ramps, what you want to do is you want to drive onto them in a slow and controlled manner. So when you put your foot on the gas, you will hear your engine rev. If you cannot hear your engine rev, turn the radio off, do all that. It's just like Cedric the Entertainer. You know, black people can't back up with music on. You have to turn that off. So turn everything off until you get comfortable with this process. What you want to do is you want to put your foot on the gas. You want to press down very slowly. You'll hear your motor rev up, but your car will not move at first, most likely, unless you got like a hot rod or something with a whole lot of horsepower. Because you're going to be pressing the pedal down very slowly. When you feel your car start to move, hold your foot steady right there. Don't press down anymore. Do not lift up. Your car will slowly go up the ramps. When it gets to the top of the ramp, see that little line right there? That's a little dip. When it gets to the top of that, you'll feel your car kind of sink down into that. Once you feel your car sink down into that, hit the brakes. Your car will settle right in there. You'll see once I drive up there. Some ramps have more of a little sink down spot than others, but that's there for a reason. It's so that you can, not only will it nestle your tire, but you'll feel your car sink down into that. Like I said, once you feel that, go ahead and stop. You will not be going fast. If you, like I said, if you're going too fast, you will go up and over. And I'm telling you, these will get stuck up under your car, and you got to jack them up, jack your car up, and hope you didn't break something, hope you didn't break the ramps, etc., etc. So I am going to crank up my car and drive this uphill so y'all can see how it works. Alright, so y'all saw that, and y'all heard how the motor sounded and how I just kind of coasted right up there. And how my car just kind of, and you'll be going slow enough that usually when you hit that, like I said, you're going to hit your brakes, but the little thing will probably stop you. Alright, so also while you're in the car, to keep you from going in and out, go ahead and pop the hood. You might as well already have that done. So I'm going to lift this up. Don't worry, my headlights go off. This car got a Twilight Centennial. I don't know what I have this set to, but they go off on their own. See? Boop, off. Alright, so let's go to the next part, which is what you're going to need. You will need an oil catch pan or something to catch the oil. It doesn't have to be one of these. It could be any container that you deem appropriate for catching oil. I would not eat out of that container after you catch oil in it. You know, you got some people that might not know that. But yeah, this is for catching oil. It don't cost that much. You use it over and over again. But you don't have to use this. You can use anything. Just make sure that whatever you use is big enough to catch all your oil. So you need that. Alright, I'm back. So for my car, socket and a 15 millimeter. That's what I need to get the bolt out of the oil pan. So I'm gonna show y'all that. We're gonna go up under the car. I probably should put something on my head to cover my hair, but I shouldn't be down that long. Okay, so hopefully y'all will be able to see this. You want to slide your oil pan back. Let's see. Get up under the car. I'm gonna show you what you should be looking for once you get up under here. I'm not gonna put my head on the ground. Alright, so bring your tool with you, because if you don't, you have to get back out and get it again. Alright, so let me show y'all what you're gonna be looking for when you get up under here. Alright, so when you get up under my car, see you got the exhaust. Yes, I have an oil leak. I don't want to hear it. It's a Cadillac. All Cadillacs got oil leaks. Somebody got a Cadillac and they talking about they ain't got an oil leak, they lying. So what you want to look for is, you see these two pans. See, that one has a bolt, that one doesn't. The silver one is for the transmission. This one here is your oil pan. You see this bolt right here. So this is the bolt that you're gonna take out. So for my car, it's a 15. You will have to figure out what size you need, but it's usually a 15 on most GM vehicles. Then once you figure out what size you need, I'm gonna put this on in an advantageous way for me to do this one-handed while I'm filming. So you want to loosen the bolt. Sometimes you have to be belligerent. It came loose just then, that's why it fell off. So you see it spinning. Okay, now you want to get your oil catchment ready. So you see the bolt, this is right up under it. So once it's loose, you can turn this by hand. Now the little bit of time I was running my car, my oil's not hot. Now a lot of times they recommend for you to run your car, let the oil get warm, to let all the, the oil gets warm. It supposedly picks up all, if it's any contaminants or anything in the oil, it's circulating, it's hot, it runs out faster, all that different stuff. By all means, you can do that. I don't do that. I change my oil very regularly. My oil generally comes out pretty clean. But what I'm doing while I'm unscrewing this, I'm pushing up. That's why you don't see any oil coming out. Then I push up until you hear that. Let me do it again. It's completely out. There's no thread to cut. So now, well, great. You can just pull it down and your oil will drain out. I got a little oil on me, which is, but as you can see, the oil is dark, but it's not black, and it don't have nothing in it. Like I said, I change my oil very regularly, always on time. By the way, use gloves. It would be better to use gloves. I never really use gloves. I should. Yeah, it's really not good to have this stuff on your skin a lot, but yeah, use gloves. That would be best if you can, if at all possible. So I'm not gonna sit here and bore y'all with this oil draining out, but let your oil drain out. I generally let mine drain a lot longer than the car places do. And I'll take this time to tell you why it's actually a good idea for you to change your own oil. For the record, when you change your own oil, you're getting up under your car, and if you see anything strange up under your car, you'll see it. You'll notice it. Like, it's just like, it's just like when you take a bath. If you take a bath and you washing your arm and you see a bump that you never seen before, you will notice it. It's the same thing up under your car. If you see something that you've never seen before, or maybe something's about to break or snap or something, you'll notice it. Second reason to change your oil is most of these little quick lube places, they use the cheapest and the sorriest oil that you can get possible. I will be putting in Mobil 1 oil this go round, but there are plenty of videos on YouTube where people actually do comparison testings between oils, and you can see there are various different brands of oil, and they are not all the same. Mobil 1 actually isn't that expensive. The oil and the filter together cost me like $25, which is the same as the oil change. I'm not charging any labor because I'm doing it myself, but I know what's going in my car, what's going on my car. I know how it's being put in, and I know that my car is not being damaged in the process. It's a lot of quick oil, quick lube places that have damaged things. Let's be real, they usually hire 18-year-olds that don't know the ass from a hole in the ground. So, I mean, you can take that type of risk with your car if you'd like. I'm not interested in taking that type of risk, so I do my own oil changes. Another reason is, like I said, you're not really going to save no money, because by the time you buy the oil and the filter, it's going to be about what it would be to get it done at a quick lube place. But once again, the self-assuredness that you did it yourself, you know what you put in the car, what was used, you know exactly when it was done, how it was done, and it was done properly. And plus, it's self-empowerment. You feel good when you can get things done and you can do things and you don't always have to rely on somebody else. I think we need to learn how to be more self-sufficient. Me personally, I think a lot of times we rely on people for way too much stuff. Now, a lot of people will go ahead and put their plug back in when it's draining, this little bit like this. I don't. I will continue to allow this to drain. I will continue to allow it to drain until it's basically dripping super slow. It's not even a steady stream like that. Like, even though that stream is very, very small, I will continue to let that do its thing. But while that's doing its thing, let's go take care of the oil filter. Let's go up top for that. So this car has a 4.5 in it, and a lot of people be like, "Where's the oil filter? Where's the oil filter?" See that blue thing right there behind the master cylinder there? That's your oil filter. So it's not the easiest in the world to get to. What I usually do is reach through here, reach my hand around, and grab the bottom of the oil filter. Like so. Now see, now this is another reason why it's good to do your own stuff. Because see, watch this. See how I was just able to twist that off by hand? Now I had to grip it and hold it, but I was able to twist it off by hand. So many of these places, they use a wrench. You can see once you start twisting, oil's gonna come out of there. I'll try to hold this up straight as I can and bring this right back up straight out of that hole, because this does have oil in it. Once again, wear gloves, y'all. Wear gloves. I'm kind of a old school. Y'all can see also it's dripping over there too. But yeah, and then you just want to turn this upside down on the there's a spot for your oil filter to go. So y'all see that dripping? The dripping on the right is from where the oil filter came out, and you're not gonna get a whole lot of drippage right there, but you will get a little bit. And then you see on the left still dripping from the oil hole, but my oil pan is able to catch all of it at the same time. But like I was saying about the oil filter, so many times you will go to a oil changing place, Quick Lube, wherever. I think the dealerships might actually be a little better, but I've seen dealerships do so much shady stuff to where I'm gonna be honest and say I don't have no faith in them either. They will put your oil filter on so tight that you cannot get it off unless you use a wrench of some sort or something of that nature. Get my oil filter out the car. So that's another reason why I never ever let other people, because I'm telling you, I changed my neighbor's oil one time, and his oil filter was on so tight I had to stab a hole through it with a screwdriver and take it off. And that is not supposed to be like that. That is not supposed to be that tight. It's actually way too tight. And what they could have put that on with, I have no idea. Another thing you want to do is, I need a rag. So I'm gonna go back in and get the oil out of my trunk. Great. Alright. Alright. So, what you want to do is prepare your oil filter to go back on. Put your keys down. Drop your bonnet. Alright, now I technically need a rag, but I'm going to use the bottom part of this glove. So what I generally do is where my filter came out at, I reach up in here, and where it screws on at, I just wipe it. Make sure there's no old gasket material on there. There's a little rubber gasket on your filter, but you see it's not going to be much oil at all. But yeah, you want to make sure that there's no gasket material, which since I do my own, it's never. Alright, so I got some, it's just a little bit left in here. It's not much. It's not much left in here at all. Just a hair, but it's enough to do what I need to do. So you want to put some oil in your oil filter. And I don't fill it all the way up. And then, great, my finger's filthy. Then you want to get some oil on your finger. And go around your gasket. That's just so that it'll be lubed up when you put it on there. Now you want to go back in the car with it. Now, I always use AC Delco filters. That's what came with this car. The car got the original motor in it. I don't have no problems out of this car. People always talk about, oh, the 4.5 is unreliable. This car's never left me on the side of the road, ever. And I bought this car used. When I bought it, it had 120-something thousand miles on it. Now it's got 170-something. So I put like 50,000 miles on it. So, car's never left me stranded. Have I had to fix things? Yes. Had to fix the starter. Had to fix the water pump. I think soon I'm going to have to put in a power steering pump, but those are things that go wrong. Other than that, this vehicle still gets 28 miles to the gallon on the highway. It gets about 21 in the city, and it's an 89. So, y'all tell me. I mean, I know some new cars ain't getting that. I don't think them Hellcats is getting that. Just saying. So what you want to do is reverse a removal. You want to put it right up here where it screws on at it. It's at a slight angle. You want to twist it on. You'll feel the threads catch. You want to make sure you screw it on straight. If it's hard to screw on, you cross-threaded it. You know what I'm saying? So just be easy with it. It should go on very easy. So now it's kind of getting snug. So I just kind of tighten it up until my hand can't tighten it no more. This is a slick surface, so you're not going to be able to get a super tight grip. If you got a Fram filter that's got that grippy stuff on the end, just snug it up. You ain't gotta really crank on it. If you got a wrench, do not put it on with a wrench. If you got to take it off with a wrench, that's fine. They make filter wrenches. I have some, but since I do my own oil changes and I can reach that, I never have to use the wrench. So now that the filter's in, and please put oil in your filter, because when your engine starts, it draws from the filter, and if the filter is empty, it's drawing nothing. So you want to make sure that you put oil in your filter. Now, y'all see I still got a little bit of a stream. My old filter is still draining out. That little thing where it's supposed to drain actually really don't work that well. But it's all good. I'm going to come back when this is just at a real slow drip, and I'll show y'all when I stop. Like I said, if you're short on time or what have you, you could go ahead and put your plug back in now. But I like to let all that drain out. So I'm going to come back when that's done. Alright, we back. So, see that drip right there? A lot of time I actually wait till it get even slower than that. I try to change my oil when I'm really not doing nothing. That way I'm not in a crunch for time. But the sun is going down on me, and that's my only lighting for this video. So you just want to put your drain plug back in there. Once again, that should go in there real smooth until it gets snug. And then if it's going in, if it's hard or whatever, you cross thread it. Just back it out and go back in with it. Then switch your ratchet to tighten. Now people say, how tight do you want this? Manufacturer's got a setting on it for how tight, but I just usually go until You don't want to strip this. Please don't strip this because you have to get a whole nother oil pan. I usually push until you can kind of feel that crush washer crush down. But I'm not pushing super hard, and plus I'm not using a real long ratchet either, so I'm not getting a lot of leverage on that. If I had to say, maybe 15 pounds of torque, 15 foot-pound. But like I said, I don't use a torque wrench. I just use this, and I just tighten it up basically until I'm pushing and it won't turn no more. You'll kind of feel it stop turning, and once you feel it kind of stop, you stop. So don't go crazy on it. But also, do not leave that loose. If you're driving and it comes out, all your oil will drain out. And if you're driving with no oil in your vehicle, you will do serious damage to your engine. Now, I know, especially if you're a beginner looking at this, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to change my oil, I'm going to screw my car up, and my whole motor's going to be ruined. Just take it easy. Take it step by step. It's not that hard. I doubt highly that you mess up anything. You just have to kind of have a little confidence in yourself. So when I come out, I usually pull my pan out with me. That way I don't have to go back up under the car no more. And then we're going to start off with this little taste of oil. I ain't got but a little bit in that. So you want to find your cap where your oil is. Mine is square on this vehicle. Most of them are round and they have an oil thingy on them. This actually, you can't read it. The camera, the light and everything. But anyway, it basically says engine oil fill. Usually you'll have a little engine oil can on there. On top of your oil where you're supposed to put your oil in at. Alright, so y'all don't look at my filter. My funnel, I mean. When you use a funnel, use a clean one. I'm actually just wiping this out with my shirt. By the way, when you do this, it'd be best if you wear clothes you don't care about. I have ruined lots and lots and lots of clothing working on cars. I actually can do this without a funnel, but when you get good enough, you'll be able to pour without a funnel. I don't need a funnel. There's not much oil in here at all, so I'm just pouring the last little taste of oil. Please remember to put in your oil drain plug, which is the bolt that I just put in before I came up here. Please remember, one time I had bought royal purple oil, and I was putting oil in my vehicle, and I did not have the drain plug in, so the oil that I was pouring in was going right into the pan under the vehicle. So please remember to put your drain plug in, because you don't want to be pouring your oil either back out onto the ground or into the drain. Then you don't want to be doing that. That would be the worst. So this is the oil that I actually bought. Like I said, I just had just a little tiny. You saw I filled the filter, and then the little taste that went in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put y'all on the tripod so I can show y'all how to properly pour this. When it's a full one, you want to make sure that you do this. I mean, you are just pouring oil, but there's a way to do it to where you don't waste a lot. I'm going to be honest, when I first started changing oil, that was the worst thing, was learning how to pour without wasting a whole lot of oil and wasting it all on the engine and on the exhaust manifold and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show y'all how I pour. And like I said, when you get good enough, you don't even need a filter. I'm in a funnel. I don't need a funnel. But so when you pour this, you would think, oh, pour this way. No, actually you don't want to do that. You actually want to turn it to the side. Let me see, can y'all see? Make sure that y'all can see. Okay, y'all should see. What you want to do is you want to grab your bottle and try to get your filter to stand up some. This filter ain't, I keep calling it a filter. It's a freaking funnel. Okay. Make sure your funnel behaves, and then you want to pour to the side. I hope my funnel doesn't move. That's why I don't use funnels that much, because sometimes they move and then you be looking stupid. But you see how controlled that, more control that is? Pouring with the bottle to the side, it's much more controlled that way. And then you can tip it back up and slow down the flow, let the oil go down in there. And then you can pour it faster, slow it down. But I generally try to pour at the same rate of speed. You just want to hold it steady. And it helps if you focus on just breathing steady and just holding your body steady. You'll pour it in there nice and easy and you won't waste. It's not a big deal if you waste. You basically just wasting money. But I got exhaust manifolds in the front here. So if I waste in the front, it goes down the exhaust manifolds when you crank your car up. That oil is going to burn off that hot exhaust manifold. And you might get some smoking. And see, that might alarm people like, oh my God, my car's smoking. I changed my oil. I fucked up something. No. It's just on the exhaust manifold. It's just burning off. But to avoid all that, try not to waste no oil. That's the easiest way to avoid it. So you don't want to pour this whole bottle in and then check. What I usually do is I pour about half the bottle and I start checking my level. So let me show y'all. So when you first pull it out, you can wipe that. You always want to wipe the oil off. Let me see if I can get it to focus on these, what it says on here. May or may not. The light is so bad right now. But anyway, what it has is it has full, where my thumb is, that's full. There are some cross hatches. And then it says add 1 quart at the end. So if your oil is in these cross hatches, if it's at this last line here, if you add 1 quart, it'll bring you up to full. You do not want to overfill this. So where it has the full marker, when you put your dipstick in, you don't want to overfill that. And it'll tell you on the stick, well, it's an old car, it'll tell you on the stick. On new cars, I don't think it tell you. It tells you capacity, 5 quarts. Measure on level surface. My car is not level right now. So, but it's all right. I'm going to show y'all how I fix the level scenario. It's not crucially, it's not like super crucial that your car be level, but it does help. And since it say be level, let's do what the manufacturers say. So I'm going to show y'all how I fix that. Do not crank this car until you have it full of oil, but I'm going to show you what you can do. Once again, do not crank your vehicle without oil. Get your oil pan out the way, especially if you got a low car like mine, because if it go down, it's going to basically crush that oil pan because it sits so close to the ground. So let me show y'all what I do. Well, let me tell y'all. Basically, I'm going to put my foot on the brake. I'm not going to crank the car. Put the key in, turn it to the on position. Do not crank. Just turn it, like if you want to listen to the radio, turn it on. Put your foot on the brake, car in neutral. And then I'm going to bump it down off the ramps. Just watch what I do. Because you're not even going to leave this vicinity. Because you don't want the car to run away from you. Alright, so my car's in the on position. Be real, y'all. I have filled this up with it up in the air. It's absolutely no problem. You can just do that. So, anyhow. But if you need to get it down, that's how you do it. Try not to do it with another car behind it, because you might run into that other car. But I wasn't worried about it because I knew my driveway slopes this way, and my car wasn't going to keep going back. So, put my filter back. So let me show y'all where the oil level is. See if y'all can see this. You may or may not be able to see it. Alright. Alright, can y'all see where it is? It's not quite at the full mark. How about this? How about autofocus? Fabulous. Look at there. So it's not quite at the full mark. Not quite. I'm going to pull it out one more time. Let y'all see that. Okay, so you see it's like right where the A is. Excuse me, y'all. Perfect time for me to be sneezing. But it's like right there. It's hard to see it. You'll be able to see it much better in person because this oil is so clear. It's new. So, but anyway, so we got to add some more. Like I said, you don't want to overfill. So don't just be pouring willy-nilly and you fool around and overfill it, because then you have to drain it back out and it's too much problem. It's better for you to just go slowly. Put the oil in as you go. Cat monitors you because he's your supervisor. Now, it says my car holds 5 quarts, but I find that it never holds fully 5 quarts because all of your oil does not drain out of there. But like I said, what you want to do is pour and then look. See, now it's above. You probably can't see it, but it's above the A. It's at the D's now. But it's still not at the full mark. So you want to go some more. Check it again. And trust me, when you do this, it probably will go much faster. I think I'm at the full. I think. No, I'm at the add 1 quart. That's where I'm at. So now I just need to add 1 more quart. I'll look at this bottle and see how much left in here. It's just a hair over a quart left. So I'm going to pour the majority of this in. That's also why I let a lot of the oil drain out. Like, I let it drain quite a bit before I put the plug back in. Because I want to try to get out as much of that old oil as I can. What's the point of doing an oil change? And like I said, you want to wipe that every time so that you get an accurate reading. You want to stick it in, wait a second, pull it back out. Still need a little more. I'm halfway through the hash mark. Now, when I say hash mark, now that this will focus, let me just try to show y'all what I'm talking about. See if I can get this to show. I'm sorry, y'all. The light is so bad. See, I said autofocus, and then now it's like, okay, there we go. So you see the hash marks, and now you can read what it says. See how it says add 1 quart. You have the hash marks. See the arrows? So if you're at that arrow right after it says add 1 quart, if your oil is there, you need to add a quart. If you're within the hash marks, you're generally pretty good. And then you have an arrow pointing to that line that says that's the full indication. And then, like I said, it has a part number. And it says capacity 5 quarts. Measure on level surface. And I don't know what the letter M, I don't know what that means. But that's all that says. Now, I'll be honest, if you have an aftermarket dipstick, you're not going to see all that. Aftermarket dipsticks generally never have that on there. And some people, they have broken a dipstick or whatever, and they have replaced it. And then they don't, they don't have that. It'll have the marks where it's full, but it won't have all the other instructions. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure. New cars might not have that at all. Still in the hash mark. But I'm getting closer. So I'm checking it a lot. I'm actually checking it a lot for this video. just to kind of show y'all, because this is be more like what you would be doing. It would be very unusual for you to know exactly when to stop. After you change your oil a couple of times, now I think I'm good. After you change your oil a couple of times, they racing you out. There's a guy off the street with a Mustang GT. He's always racing around here, but gets a lot of tickets too. But anyway, that's his business. So I'm trying to show y'all how y'all would be doing it, because a lot of times you wouldn't know exactly when to stop filling, you know. So you'd be checking it. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that I'll show y'all how y'all would be doing it. It's full now. It's completely full. So once it's full, you want to take the opportunity to put your fill cap back on. So take your funnel out, put that over there, just set it to the side, and then you just want to put your, mine is just a quarter turn. Usually most cars you're going to turn it on and it's just like a gas tank cap. You turn it on and it clicks. You know, once you tighten it so much, it'll start clicking. Or if yours doesn't have the little click feature, you just tighten it up. So, and then the last thing I probably would tell you to do is to start your vehicle. Make sure everything runs right, looks right. Make sure you got oil pressure. In order to start your vehicle, you will need your keys. So don't be like me and leave your keys over here and expect to start your vehicle with magic. That's it, y'all. When you start your vehicle, you want to look up under it, make sure you don't have no leaks, like where your drain plug came out at. Make sure you don't have, just nothing abnormal. That's another reason why I say it's great to change the oil. You can keep an eye on your car and make sure everything is as it's supposed to be. Alright, so here's how to reset your oil life index. Usually you will have a engine oil, change engine oil indicator. It actually tells you in your owner's manual how to do this. I never noticed that the edge of this book is cut off. That's weird. Anyway, I have it marked in here, and it tells you what to do. It tells you this last couple of sentences. After an oil change has been completed, the oil life index must be reset. This can be done by holding the engine data and range buttons at the same time until it reads 100. Now, I've already reset mine, but here you find range on the driver information control center and engine data. Press them at the same time. Mine says 100. If you haven't done it yet, it's going to say 0 first, and then you just hold it down until it says 100, and then you can release those buttons, and it'll eventually go away. Or you can just press any of these buttons to make them go away. But yeah, so that's how you reset that, so that when you get in your car, because when you need an oil change, every time you get in your car, it'll say change engine oil, and you can press any button to make that go away. But I mean, you want to change your oil, and eventually you want to stop having to worry about that little message. So that's the last little section. That's the last thing to do on this particular vehicle. If you have any other vehicle, consult a video that is on your specific vehicle. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And some vehicles, there's nothing to reset. So, because several of my cars, there's nothing to reset. So yeah, till next time, I will see you guys later.